Well, hello. This video is going to be a book haul. I haven't done one of these since September, so it's been almost 6 months now. And I don't buy a lot of books, so you won't find a lot of hauls on my channel, but I have quite a collection here, so I figured I would just, well, quite a collection for me. Like, this is not going to be some 23 book haul or anything. But I have a few books here, and I just wanted to talk about them real quick. Some of them I've already read, some of them I have not, and I think at least two of them I have already actually mentioned on this channel. But like I said, I haven't done an actual haul in 6 months, so I figured I would just put them like officially in a video. So let's not make this super long. Let's just start with the first one. That is The Legacy of Ogma by E.A. Rappaport. So this I actually got in September. I'm pretty sure that I didn't mention it in my haul in September. So if I did, I'm sorry, I'm re-mentioning it. But this I got at a Renaissance fair. My husband and I went to the Connecticut Renaissance Fair, and this author was actually there selling his books, so I still haven't read it. I don't know anything about it, but it was $10, so I bought it, and he seemed like a really nice guy. Oh, you know what it is? I talked about this in a vlog at one point. So like I said, the author was the one, he just had a little booth selling his books, and I walked away from it with my husband, and I was like, he seems like a nerd. And like, nerds are my people, so I can spot them. So basically, when he was explaining this book, it's a series of 9 books, but there's 6 different ways that you can read it depending on what themes you want to get out of the story. So this was like the first book. He said this is a good place to start. He said this is technically like the first book. I don't, like I said, know much about it, but he did say that the main character is based on his daughter or something, I think. That might be totally wrong. If you've read this and that's totally wrong, let me know, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. But yeah, I do want to pick it up. I do want to read it eventually. Hopefully I'll like it because, like I said, he seemed like a really nice guy. So yeah, that's the first book. The next book is another book that I've already mentioned on my channel. I actually already read it, and I'm pretty sure I put it in a reading wrap up, but it's a book that a coworker gave me. It is One Step Too Far by Lisa Gardner. It is a thriller where this guy gets lost in the woods, and 5 years later his father and a group of his friends and some other random people are giving it like one last shot to find out what happened to him. It was good. Okay, so now we're getting into the books that I have not read for the most part. So the same coworker, basically she loves thrillers, and every time she reads a thriller that she enjoys, she passes it along to me to read. This one is Stay Awake by Megan Golden. I don't know anything about this one. I have not read this one, and I keep telling her that I am going to pick it up next, and I still have not. So we're going to read this one eventually. She said it was recommended by the person working at Barnes & Noble. They really liked it. I don't know. A murder she doesn't remember committing, a killer she doesn't remember meeting, memory can be deadly is kind of the little tagline. So, yeah. I feel like I've heard of this author before, but I've never read anything by her. So, I'm looking forward to that when I finally get around to reading it. Okay, so next I had a vacation in December, and one day I was bored and I ended up going to Barnes & Noble and I picked up a few things. So that's what these next few books are. The first one is Well Traveled by Jen DeLuca. This is the 4th book in the Well Met series. I finally read the 3rd one, and so I'm looking forward to picking this one up. I really enjoy this series. I have said many times on this channel that I think the reason I like this series so much, and like especially the 1st book, is that it takes place around a Renaissance fair in this town. And I read the 1st book like right around the time that my husband and I went to a Renaissance fair. So I think I had like, you know, it was the right kind of situation for me to read it in to really enjoy it. I could kind of picture myself at the Renaissance fair in the book because I had just been to the Renaissance fair in real life. So I will pick that one up eventually. Okay, so this next one I've heard a lot about on BookTube. I don't really know too much about it. but what I've heard makes me very intrigued. And that is Finley Donovan is Killing It by Elle Cosimano. Again, I don't really know too much about it. I know it's about like a single mom who is mistaken for an assassin or something, a killer for hire, and then she kind of like agrees to go along with it or something. I don't really know much about it, like I said, but I've heard nothing but good things about this book, so I'm excited to read it. Next, I'm pretty sure this was on like the Book Talk recommends table or whatever it is, and that is The Spanish Love Deception by Elena Armas. Is that what it is? This sounded kind of like a hate to love book, so that's why I got it. I don't really know much about it, but that is my favorite trope, so I'm kind of hoping that that's what it is. A wedding in Spain, an infuriating man, 3 days to convince her family she's actually in love. So maybe like fake dating / enemies to lovers, which sounds like a good time. So I got that one. And the last one I picked up on that trip is one that has actually already been on TBRs of mine in the past, and I still have not read it. But that is Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. I am still really looking forward to reading this. I really thought I was going to read it in like the late fall, kind of December cozy time, whatever, but I never ended up getting around to it. But now that I have a physical copy, I have no excuse. So we are going to read it. It has deckled edges, which is interesting. I don't have a whole lot of books with deckled edges, but I don't know. It seems like a cozy time. It's an orc that opens a coffee shop, I think. This book has been all over BookTube, so I'm sure if you have seen anybody else's videos about, you know, cozy fantasy, you've already heard about this. Okay, so this next book I actually got in a Facebook like book exchange. I had the vid over Christmas, so I was home, I couldn't go out, I couldn't do anything. So I had fun gifting some books to some people in the group, and I did end up getting one in return, which is nice because a lot of people were complaining, like, I don't know, it's a really big group, and some people got like 20 books. Most people, I feel like, got nothing. So I was really happy to even receive one. I wasn't expecting anything in return, but like I said, I just had fun gifting books. But I did get one in return, and it's actually a book I've already read, but I didn't have a physical copy, and I absolutely love it. So I'm super excited to have a physical copy now. And that is Beach Read by Emily Henry. I love this book. I read it a couple years ago. I still haven't read People We Meet on Vacation, but I actually have Book Lovers here. It's one of the only books on the new shelves so far. But yeah, she's like an auto read author for me now, and I absolutely love this book. And I am so happy to have a physical copy. Thank you to the person in that group that so kindly gifted me this book. I am so excited to have it. Okay, and then the final two books are actually nonfiction, kind of like self-helpish kind of books, I guess. The first one is The 12-Week Year. I bought this in January. I read it in January. I tabbed it all up. It's actually very short. I think it's less than 200 pages. And it's basically just taking your... It doesn't necessarily have to be a New Year's resolution, but basically, like, if you have a New Year's resolution and you're like, ooh, I have a whole year to do this, you're less likely to do it. So this book is telling you, like, take those year-long goals and turn them into 12-week goals, and you'll get a lot more accomplished. So like I said, I read it, I tabbed it up, which I don't usually tab up books, but I find I do it more with nonfiction, like self-helpy kind of stuff, than I do with anything else. Okay, and the last book I am almost halfway through now. That is Intuitive Eating. So I don't want to say I'm like a chronic dieter, because I'm not. I'm not super concerned with my weight or anything, but I do like the idea of just like not falling into the diet cycle anymore. Like, I have diet in my life. I am a person. I'm a human being. So I have fallen into the diet trap before, and I just wanted to get a new perspective. I don't know if you necessarily need this much information, but I'm reading this book right now. So I'm just about to sit down and edit this video, and I looked over at my shelf and realized I actually, since filming this video, I've actually gotten 2 more books, so I'm just going to add those in real quick here. One is The Prisoner by B.A. Paris. I got this from the same coworker that gave me the other 2. So it says, There's more than one way to be trapped. Amelie has always been a survivor, from losing her parents as a child in Paris to making it on her own in London. Now she is building an independent life for herself. But then the kidnapping happens. Amelie wakes up in a pitch black room, not knowing where she is. Why has she been taken? Who are the mysterious captors? And why does she soon feel safer here imprisoned than she had begun to feel with her husband? So yeah, again, another book from the same coworker. She said this one was really good. I think she said she couldn't pick which one she liked better between this and Stay Awake. So I'm excited to pick that up. The other one, my husband and I went to Savers the other day, and I of course looked at all the books while he was looking at other stuff. I only found one, and that is The Vanishing Half by Brit Bennett. Twins, inseparable as children, ultimately choose to live in two very different worlds, one black and one white. So they're two twin sisters who ran away when they were 16. Many years later, one sister lives with her black daughter in the same southern town she once tried to escape. Across the country, the other secretly passes for white, and her white husband knows nothing of her past. And then I think their daughters meet or something. So it sounded really interesting. I think it came out a couple of years ago, and I was interested in it, but I never got around to buying it. And then I saw it at Savers, and it was, I think, $4.99. So I picked it up. So those are the only other books that I got. Back to the video. Okay, so these are all the books that I have acquired recently. I don't know if I'm going to call this a winter haul. There's still more time for winter, but I've also acquired them over the past few months. So yeah, like I said, I don't normally do hauls on this channel. I don't need to hold these up, do I? I already told you about them. You already know what they are. I don't buy like a ton of books, but I had acquired quite a stack, so I figured I would just share them with you quick. Let me know if you've read any of these books, if you think there's anything I should prioritize, because for the most part I haven't read them yet. Especially, like, definitely let me know if you've read the E.A. Rappaport book or anything by E.A. Rappaport. I really, like, I wanna, okay, yeah, see, he said it was book one. It is book one. It has a 1 on the spine. But whatever. Just let me know if you've read any of these books and what you thought of them. All right, so that is it from me today. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know again if you've read any of these books, what you thought of them, if you think I will like them, and if there are any that I should prioritize. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.